Hey guys, it's Missy Wolf, and I am here for a second time with Blane Howard. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing well, recovering from this mistake because yesterday we had this amazing conversation that did not get recorded. So now I'm like, I know everything, but the audience doesn't know, so I have to be careful and make sure we cover everything again. So
that's all right. Well, we'll get it done. No problem.
Well, thank you so much for taking the extra time. I know you just had rehearsal this morning. How did that go for you?
It went well. It went well.
Good.
It just it's a little early morning. You know, we're not musicians who play late at night. We usually sleep in the morning.
Right.
But you gotta find time to rehearse. And we obviously with the shows coming up this weekend and CMA Fest next weekend, we had to make sure we had everything ready.
Right. That's awesome. And, I know it is going to be definitely a really, really busy week and a half to 2 weeks for you. I know it is for us as well. We kind of talked about that yesterday. It's just CMA Fest is a huge festival. A ton of people are out there. There's a ton of music everywhere you go. I mean, there are people on stages in places that you wouldn't imagine. I mean, I think it was last year that I went. There was a stage in one of the museums there, and it was...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like downstairs, and it was this really cool area, and I thought, wow, I never would have even realized, that they put stages everywhere because there are just so many people there, and it's just a great, great time. I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see you perform
definitely.
there.
If there's space for a stage during CMA week, they are going to put it there.
Absolutely. And you're playing at the Tin Roof.
I am. As a matter of fact, the Tin Roof will actually have two stages going. They have two stages within. I mean, they're only within 20, 30 yards of each other.
Yeah.
But they will alternate. The one band will go on the front stage, and then the band will be loading in, loading out on the back stage. As soon as the band on the front's done, the band on the back will start.
Yeah.
And then they'll do the same thing on the front. So
I know, it's crazy.
It will be crazy. It will be hectic, but it's what we look for, and it'll be a good time for sure.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be a ton of fun. And, yesterday we talked about, you've opened for, people like Blake Shelton and Joe Nichols, and, so I know what all of that was like for you, but can you tell everybody else, like, what it was like for you opening for Blake Shelton and how that experience was, because that crowd had to have been amazing.
Oh, yeah, like we were talking about yesterday, it was nuts. When I opened for Blake, it was right after season 1 of The Voice, so Blake was always huge, but that was the point where he just kind of skyrocketed to superstardom, and not only country people liking him, but everyone, whether you listen to pop or R&B or anything. I mean, obviously, if he's on a show like The Voice, he's going to bring in a lot more fans. So usually that amphitheater, I mean, even for some of the bigger acts, they'll have 8,000 to 10,000 people. But for Blake Shelton, they were pushing the limits of 12,000 plus. They were packing them in there. It was really crazy. And as I told you yesterday, Blake had the longest meet and greet line I'd ever seen in my life. He did meet and greet for probably a solid hour and a half to 2 hours. There must have been 300 or 400 people in line. It was nuts. It was nuts.
You're just like, how many times can you smile? Like, his face must have been hurting by the end of that, smiling constantly for photos for 2 hours. That's crazy. That's great.
Yeah, I'm sure his cheeks are sore, but you know what? That's what we do, and that many people back there for meet and greets, especially the ones that have paid for it. I mean, come on, they're paying for that extra time with you. That's no problem for us.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I love when artists do meet and greets. And what I've found in the country music world is country music artists are far more reachable than, the rock stars. Meet and greets seem just like a normal everyday thing for them, and it's not a big deal. And it's so much fun, and the fans really look forward to that.
Yes, they do. And it's crazy. You'll go to a show and there'll be 3 artists, and all 3 of them will do meet and greets before they go on or after they go on. And I love the country music does that. The country music is so fan driven, and obviously we love to give it back to them whenever we can.
Right. And you know what? Oh my goodness. I have to make sure my call is still recording. Okay, it is. I might have to edit that part out, but I just got alarmed right now when I saw that it didn't look like it was recording. I'm like, no, not again. I'm sorry. You know what, guys? I'm crazy. You all know that about me. And speaking of crazy, you have a video for a song that you have titled Crazy. And that video is so much fun, and the song is great, and I want to know all about that. And I mean, I already know all about it, but everybody else needs to know about it.
Well, we had a great time. We had a great time shooting that video. I wrote the song. Actually, this is a song I did yesterday. I wrote the song with the guy who plays piano and organ for Trace Atkins. I happened to meet him when I opened for Trace. And we wrote the song together. And the music video, it turned out great. I mean, obviously, if you go check it out, I got to throw water balloons at my bandmates and some friends. We had a really good time shooting it.
It was great. I'm telling you, my favorite moment was that hat. You hit his hat, and it just fell right off his head, and it was great. And the look on his face was priceless. I just loved it. I loved his reaction.
That worked out so well. Obviously, we filmed it on a parking deck so we could kind of get different levels and get the top part. And obviously, in the video, we're jumping from 4 or 5 stories up. But in order to actually hit something, we went down to the first floor just to make sure I was hitting. Most of them were my bandmates. The guy that's dressed up like the doctor. The first time I had to throw it pretty hard to get him to pop. The first one hit him in the shoulder and didn't bust. The next one happened to go in the pocket of his jacket and didn't bust. Took me a good 2 or 3 tries to finally get one to break.
And the fact that you put it in his pocket, that's just crazy.
Yeah. What are the odds of throwing a balloon at someone and it lands in their pocket and it doesn't bust?
That's awesome. You're like, here, have some ammo.
But then, but then the guy in the cowboy hat is my bass player, Wes. I just thought, it'd be cool if we could get the pop on his hat. Well, the first one I threw, I missed a little bit and just happened to hit the brim of the hat and knock it off. And luckily, cameras were rolling because we got a natural reaction out of Wes, and it turned out great.
Perfect. It was perfect. I love it. We have to attach that video to the article so that people can see because it is such a great, great, great moment. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Oh, yeah. And actually, the crazy thing was we filled all these water balloons ahead of time and put them in a duffel bag. Well, the ones that were really big, the ones that were ready to pop, popped in the bag just from driving around in the car. So we had to find ones that we couldn't refill them. So we really had to throw them really hard. And the scene at the very end where I believe it's Alex, my drummer, he's playing like the security guard police officer. And I was 10 feet away having to throw this water balloon at him really hard to get it to pop. Well, the first one I hit him dead in the middle of the chest, and it does not pop. So it's just like getting hit with a tennis ball in the chest from 10 feet away.
Man.
So the next one I threw, like, this one has to pop. I'm just going to throw it at your badge and hope that it pops it, and it worked out.
Perfect.
So I was a little worried I was going to hurt somebody. I was having to really do it so hard.
No, it worked out well, though, and just everything about that video was just great, and it seemed so natural and so fun. And I know you told me yesterday it's your fiance that played the woman in the video with you, and that's just great. I absolutely thought she did a fabulous job, and she has one of those smiles that, oh my, they just make you want to smile, and I can imagine that her laugh is the same because she just looked like she was having a great time in that video, and
she was, yeah. She does. She definitely has that smile. That's why I'm married her. For one of the reasons.
Well, one of the many, I'm sure. Well, that's great. And congratulations to both of you guys. And so you're going to be opening up for Hunter Hayes on, is it this Saturday?
It is this Saturday. That is correct. It's a big amphitheater. It's actually in my hometown in Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's actually the same venue that I opened for Blake Shelton in. And we're expecting a big crowd. It's the first concert of the summer, the first country concert. The country concerts always pack that a little more.
Right.
And we're hoping, usually we'll play there in July and it'll be 105 degrees, but we're hoping it'll be about 85.
Yeah.
Hopefully about down into the 70s by showtime. So it should be perfect weather for a show.
Yes, hopefully. Hopefully it's not super hot. That would be great. That would definitely be a lot better. And so I know you have new music out, and you have your debut EP, About Time. That was released in January of 2013. And yesterday we were talking about the difference between your debut EP versus your, full-length studio album. So what can you tell us the differences between these two releases and how they have been for you so far?
Right. Well, obviously, the EP that I put out in 2013 is titled About Time. It's got 7 songs on it, and at the time I was really like trying to get it out. I was like, I've got to have something out to sell to fans, and I only had 7 songs. I was like, do I put all 7 on there? What do I do? So I just decided to put all 7, and it was kind of hectic. It was my first time doing something major in the studio. I'd done single songs and stuff like that before, but going in and tracking and all that stuff, and with scheduling conflicts and other stuff going on, it took us probably about 8 months to a year to finish that one, which is, I mean, longer than usual, but it's not uncommon, I guess. But then last year, I put out the new one, Away We Go. It's a full 10-song album. I used the same producer. I used mostly the same band in the studio, and this time I had 25, 30 songs to pick from. So it's much easier to pick which songs I wanted to go on the album, which ones I thought were best, at least the best fit for the album. And this time I think we got it recorded. I mean, we got 7 or 8 songs in one day session, and then the other 2 or 3 were in another day, and vocals only took 2 sessions. Like, we really got it done in about a month, which is crazy. To think that the one that's got more songs on it would take less time, but it just happened to work out, and obviously I had a lot more experience with that producer and in that same studio, just how we worked together, and it really came out great.
Right, and I think that's great, and I think it just goes to show you how, when you're starting out and you do something, and then as you keep going, things change and they get easier, and you figure them out, and especially when you're working with the same people and you kind of learn how each other, operates, it is going to make it a little bit easier for you to navigate through that. So that's great. I love it. And the thing that I love the most about all of this right now, though, is that you're playing for the Children's Miracle Network, and you told me the story yesterday about your high school, and I just kind of, after we got done on the phone, I just thought, wow, that is so great what your high school did. So tell everybody, again, even though they didn't hear it the first time, what they're doing and what this is about.
Well, this Friday night, I'm playing a benefit concert for the Children's Miracle Network, like you said. It's my first time doing a benefit concert with them, so I'm really excited. I've done some other charity events in the past, but this is obviously I believe we talked yesterday, too, about the work they do. It's like great work. But we've been talking to the lady putting it on for really a month and a half, 2 months, and we were interested in doing it, and they wanted us to play, but the problem was we were really struggling to find a venue.
Right.
We were trying Little Rock, we were trying Texarkana area. We just could not find a place to do the show. And then finally, I don't know if maybe she contacted my high school or my high school contacted her, but my high school, Wakefield High School in Hot Springs, Arkansas, volunteered to put up the high school auditorium for the concert. So it's going to be really cool for me, one, because, I love that the high school put up their space. But also, I sing in that auditorium. I've been singing there since I was in 6th grade. So there's going to be a lot of memories flashing back to me when I get up there.
Definitely. That's going to be great. And, it means so much to the families, that are going to be there, and the families who are affected, the families that you're helping by playing this. It's great. And, my background, a lot of the people listening know that, my son's been in and out of the hospital since he was born, and we have a huge support network, and a lot of my friends, their families, their kids are still in the hospital. And, one of my friends, her daughter is being sent home to live out her remaining few months at home and as happy as she can be, and she's not even 4 years old. So, playing for a group like this, I found out yesterday after we spoke. So, that's why I wanted to talk about playing for the Children's Miracle Network, because it really does make a difference in the lives of these children and their families. And it brings them smiles where, it takes their mind off of something for a little bit anyways, and I think that's really, really, really important. And just knowing that there's people out there that are supporting and helping these families who are in the hospital and these children who are in their beds, it's incredible. And they really do smile when they know that somebody cares and that somebody's doing something for the benefit of another child. They think it's great.
Wow.
And I happen to, think it's just phenomenal that you're using your voice for that. And I want to thank you, because there's been plenty of times where we've been in the hospital, and when my son was born, we didn't know if he was going to be coming home, So So definitely thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. I think it's great, and I hope that you're able to do more of those events in the future because they really do mean so much. And
well, I'm glad that we can give these children and their families something to look forward to, something to entertain them, even if it's just for the hour and a half that we play. That if it takes their mind off of what they're going through just for a little bit, and then it will be worth it for me. And I encourage anybody out there, whether it doesn't have to be Children's Miracle Network. Obviously, we do a lot of great work, but if you go out and volunteer and you work at these, events where they're raising money for these funds, it makes you feel good too. Like you're helping yourself and you're helping the people in need. So please get out there and do whatever you can.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you did something else that really touched me too. And I know that we talked about this yesterday, and when I was watching the video, I was like totally in tears. You have a very, very, very sweet fan that, just recently, I mean, she's 83 and she just recently had an anniversary with her husband, and you made a video for her, and her daughter recorded this video of her watching the video that you made, and I'm like in tears watching this woman like so excited and squealing and in tears. And what was that like for you? And these people obviously mean a lot to you.
I mean, I've never had someone film a reaction video to something that I did before. It made me feel really good. I knew that she was a huge fan. I knew that their family were big fans, but it made me feel really good that to see her actual reaction. I've seen her face at shows and stuff when she gets excited, but it's different when you see her at a home setting or at her home or whatever. But her name's Billy Park. She's 83 years old. She and her husband Bob have been married for 54 years, and they've been coming to shows since last fall. They caught us on the news in Dallas when we were promoting our show at the Texas State Fair, and they happened to come out because Billy and her daughter were listening and loved it. And so they came out that night and loved the show, and they've pretty much been, if not every show, they've maybe missed one or two, but they've been to pretty much every show we played down in Texas since then. And I mean, every show they come to, she's got to be in a seat where she can see the stage and hear the music. Actually, she was at a show a couple months ago, and it was pretty full, and she got seats that couldn't quite see the stage, and she was just, she's usually so bubbly, and I'd never seen her so upset. She was so upset she couldn't see the stage. But she's just so sweet, and I mean, they've been asking me to sing that song. I knew the song, but I'd never sung it before. I'd never played it. The band had never played it, so they requested it a couple times, and we've been so busy we hadn't had a chance to even rehearse it or look through it, so we never did it. And it just happened that I figured, you know what, it's their anniversary, and there's been a couple other bands that have anniversaries this week. Let's just put the video together. And I did it. I had fun singing it, but I'd never thought I'd get that reaction.
Well, when I was watching it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is priceless. That had to have been one of the most rewarding moments, I think, too, because when you see how you affected a fan. And that was not rehearsed. That was a complete surprise. She had no idea what was happening. That was real, and that was in the moment, and that was it was beautiful. I have to say, Billy Parks, you made my day. I loved it. And
she made my day too.
And the other thing that made my day was yesterday talking to you about your green plastic guitar. I am still dying over that, and I can't believe you still have it. And I know nobody knows what I'm talking about, but you can explain that to everybody. I just picture you with this green guitar, and it's amazing.
Well, yeah, if you actually, I'll have to send you the pictures, or maybe you can add it with the post or something, or with whatever if you post it on Facebook or whatever. But if you go searching through my music page, my Facebook music page, just type in Blane Howard on Facebook. It's pretty easy to find. Search through the pictures, and there's a picture of me with a blue and green plastic guitar when I was 3 or 4 years old, and I don't remember getting it. All I remember is I took it everywhere. I played that guitar all the time. I play that guitar. It's real simple. You put 2 D batteries in it, and there's some strings on it. They're maybe 3 or 4 inches long, and then they just got buttons for the different chords. I didn't know what the buttons did. I was just strumming and playing along. But I used to sit in front of the TV, and I'd make my mom put on CMT, and we would wait for an Alan Jackson video to come on, and I would just play and sing along to that. whatever video it was, I knew them all by heart. I still do.
That's great.
And so everywhere we went, whether it was in the car or if we were on vacation somewhere, it was, what can we do to listen to Alan Jackson?
Absolutely. Well, and Alan Jackson, come on, who doesn't like Alan Jackson? I mean,
oh my gosh, he's incredible.
Amazing. Like, you know, I just absolutely love Alan Jackson. And his song "Remember When." Oh my gosh, that one just makes me cry. Like, that's like such an emotional song. But he's so fun, and yeah, you picked a good one to, you know, play that guitar with. I think it's great. And kudos to Mom for buying you that, you know, noise-making guitar, because lots of families, their mothers, like mine, yes, Mom, I'm ratting you out, never bought us those noisy, loud toys because they couldn't stand it. You know.
Well, luckily this thing wasn't too loud. But yeah, I'm sure there were some times where I was annoying my mother with it.
But you still have it, so that's good. Because in our family,
I do. Yes.
If it annoyed them, it magically disappeared. It was one of those things growing up. It was fun. But oh my gosh.
I'll have to dig it out next time I'm at home. I doubt it still works, but it still looks the same. So I'll have to dig it out and take a picture with it now.
You should. That would be great. Yes, I'm definitely a fan of that. All right. Well, thank you so much again for taking the time to talk to me a second time, because, you know, I had technical difficulties. I often have difficulties. But thank you so much for you know, being so generous with your time. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to actually meet you, CMA Fest. It's going to be great. So
looking forward to it. We're gonna have a good time at CMA Fest for sure. I know it's crazy downtown. If you're coming to Nashville for it, it's going to be crazy, but it's going to be a good time no matter where you go.
Absolutely.
But yeah, come see us at the Tin Roof, and then if you got time on Saturday, come see us at the Sutler as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much again. I will definitely be seeing you at either one of those places, whichever one my schedule allows for. But it's definitely, I'm going to see you in one of probably Saturday. I'm probably going to see you Saturday. So I can't wait. We're going to have so much fun. And until then, man, just be safe and take care. And thank you again so much for entertaining me a second day in a row.
No problem at all. Hey, I'm happy to do it.
All right. Well, you have a good day. We'll talk soon.
You too, Missy. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.